joints right here, man, that you play when you feeling down on your ism, right? Play this shit right here and resuscitate your pimpin' and get you right back on your mission, right? For you hoes, this that shit you play when you ain't feeling like super hoe today. Play this shit right here and spark up your hoeing and get you right back going, you dig? Dig this. Pimps for real, don't mistake it for fashion. The turf that birthed my reputation for mashing was the track with active, attractive hoes. Professional goers that attract the dough. Like magnets to metal, never settle. We scorching them fag bitches pedal for them portions. My whores win it all. Not the ones on the sideline wishing but didn't ball in the guidelines. My bitches did it all. Down 7 below in the snow for dough. Over 120 in the sun for fun. They bash for hours, hooker baths, not showers. Bright and early, down and dirty for the cash and power. They gotta get the cash, the towers, and reach it all to a pimp. In my position, I'm all but exempt. These bras not wimps, I'm like them renegade bitches. BFFs with tricks but never getting paid riches. Grenade bitches, they dynamite, blowing up on the pimpin' and missing when the time is right. But when they life gets strife, they see pimpin' shining bright, but they action is life without. Bitch, one strike you out. Can't stop, won't stop. Poppin' pimpin', nigga, can't stop, won't stop. Smashing on these bitches, nigga, can't stop, won't stop. Poppin' pimpin', nigga, can't stop, won't stop. Smashing on these bitches, nigga, can't stop, won't stop. Poppin' pimpin', nigga, can't stop, won't stop. Smashing on these bitches, nigga, can't stop, won't stop. Poppin' pimpin', nigga, can't stop, won't stop. Smashing on these bitches, nigga. See, that's the difference, nigga. The pimpin' mashing for these riches, nigga. Nothing like you master magician, niggas. Smoking mirrors with your game, hella extras to reflect the opposite appearance of a lame. Bitches coming from y'all, I can't rock with those. Tender-footed and rooted in them doctor shows. Soft shoe rituals, minute residuals. Papers on life support, your loots and critical. Something I learned about when running my earned route and working with turnouts is murdering burnouts. Cause knocking one of you niggas for a scarred bitch, that's knocking one of you niggas for some garbage. I'm heartless regardless, empty with sympathy, but banked up to the max with pimpathy. No remedy for me, I'm like this. My life is vice grip, synced in permanent ink. You can't rewrite this. My blood type is P positive, beautifully deposited with a lot of it. I'm popping this shit, and when I pop it so hard I make a trapping ass bad bitch wanna hoe hard. Can't stop, won't stop. Poppin' pimpin', nigga, can't stop, won't stop. Smashing on these bitches, nigga, can't stop, won't stop. Poppin' pimpin', nigga, can't stop, won't stop. Smashing on these bitches, nigga, can't stop, won't stop. Poppin' pimpin', nigga, can't stop, won't stop. Smashing on these bitches, nigga, can't stop, won't stop. Poppin' pimpin', nigga, can't stop, won't stop. Smashing on these bitches, nigga. Come on, pimpin', man, pop that shit. Show these sucker niggas they can't stop that shit. Let these hookers know if they wanna cop that shit. Treat the bag like it's hot, bitch, and drop that shit. And to you hoes, if you ever took a loss, bitch, show these bitches how to bounce back like a boss, bitch. Let them know that the best way to floss, bitch, is reach that paper to some pimpin' hoe and toss it. Can't stop, won't stop. Poppin' pimpin', nigga, can't stop, won't stop. Smashing on these bitches, nigga, can't stop, won't stop. Poppin' pimpin', nigga, can't stop, won't stop. Smashing on these bitches, nigga, can't stop, won't stop. Poppin' pimpin', nigga, can't stop, won't stop. Smashing on these bitches, nigga, can't stop, won't stop. Poppin' pimpin', nigga, can't stop, won't stop. Smashing on these bitches, nigga.
People, man, you already know it's your boy Ant Jefe, man. I got some good news you can use, man. Hey, look, man, to any solid individual, man, to any thorough individual out here, man, that's still holding it down, you know what I'm saying, still, you know what I'm saying, remaining on those principles, morals, and codes, man, we out here playing Russian roulette, man. I'm telling you, we playing Russian roulette. You remember back in the days, man, they used to have a saying that was true, man. He was shaking like a snitch at a gangster party. Shaking like a snitch at a gangster party, right? Man, I went to a gangster party, man, and a gangster party ain't a gangster party no more, man. Now the gangster in that thing, and I ain't gonna say he's shaking, but the majority of the party is rats sympathizers, And people who don't, who dislike you, they in that thing congregating like, man, what he in here for? You know what I'm saying? It's a cold game out here, man. I'm telling you, be safe. It's a good old deal.
Oh, man, if it ain't one thing, it's another. Give me just a second, man. My camera was just working, and now it's tripping. Hold on. All right. So I got to get my camera right? But in the meantime, y'all already know, man, first order of business for y'all is to wipe your feet off at the door when you step into a pimp's domain. Now, as many of you have heard and seen, unfortunately, young Ant Jefe has been arrested, and there's a lot of speculation that his charge for the arrest is a 187, a hot one. I haven't seen that or confirmed it myself, but some reliable people that I deem to be reliable on the internet, it ain't that many of them, but some reliable people on the internet have said that that's what his charge is. Now, in spite of that, you got a lot of people on the internet here, saying a whole lot of stuff, man. And this is why the title of this video is A Gangster at a Snitch Party. And that's why I opened the video up the way I did with young Ant Jefe talking about, how the old saying used to be he was shaking like a snitch at a gangster party, but now it's the opposite. The gangster is at a snitch party. And that's the way I see it with young Ant Jefe, man, by him being on the internet and being in this world of, LA-based content creators who speak on street shit, gang situations, gang politics, all that type of shit, all things to do with LA in the streets. By him being in that world, I ain't gonna say everybody, but it's a lot of people in that scene that are snitches. So they make up the snitch party, and young Ant Jefe unfortunately just so happens to be a gangster at this snitch ass party, man. So we are going to go to Compton Rick Rock, as you can see here, and he is speaking on the situation, man, and it is it's crazy the type of shit that people will do, man. Matter of fact, yeah, I just thought about it. I can't even play this Compton Rick Rock video because of the shit that's on this video. Now Compton Rick Rock, he'll play it, but hold on. I can't play it though. So I'm going to go to Damian Porter instead because the video that I watched on him earlier, he was speaking about the situation. And Damian Porter, he's like very similar to myself, even though the thumbnail and the title of his video I wouldn't have did. You know, because he got Ant Jefe on here being a serial unaliver. I don't know, you know, if I could ever put that in the title of somebody who ain't been convicted of such. But let's go. I gotta find this video. Gotta find this video of Young Ant Jefe here on Damian Porter's channel. We gonna talk about that. Okay. Here we go.
Welcome to another episode, everyone. Young Ant Jefe has been accused of 3 unalivings, 3 deletions. They're saying then that he is a serial unaliver. He's also been accused of 2 attempts, 2 attempted unalivings. Who has accused young Ant Jefe of all of this? Well, the internet. Podcasters. Not only that, gang members have gotten on the internet in the last 24 hours. Yes, there has been breaking news about young Ant Jefe being arrested. I myself covered it yesterday. Well, I'm a content creator. I understand there have been many creators who have covered this. Let me name just a few who have accused him of 3 different unalivings in the last 24 hours and some attempts. One individual, a spotty face, immediately said, after he left No Jumper did his own video, that Ant Jefe, that he knew about what happened. He had talked to this, that his sources told him what happened. That Ant Jefe was accused of a high one and 2 attempts, he said. A couple of attempts, or however he put it. Some attempts. Okay. Poetic Flakko. We all know Poetic Flakko. He does not need me to promote his channel. His channel is booming. Go check it out. Many of you do. He's done multiple videos on this. Poetic Flakko says that it was the individual from Pueblos, Lil Bandit, from Five Deuce Pueblos, that got unalived at the taco stand on Slauson and Holmes a few days ago. Another individual, another YouTuber, I forget his name, he did a video also saying that it was the taco stand situation. He said that he was getting this from the individuals in the comments. City Nash, also a YouTuber from Rolling 60s. He's claiming Rolling 60s here on the internet. He says he did a video yesterday, and said that they saying, this is what he said, they saying that young Ant Jefe is being accused of unaliving baby Huey, Big U's son. Baby.
This is crazy, man. Like, if you just pay attention to everything that he's saying, you know, basically you have all these self-proclaimed gang members, gang bangers, or what have you, that just so happen to be on the internet, and they're putting this information out there without any confirmation to this information. They are going off of what, quote unquote, they said. They told them this, they told them that. But, you know, it's crazy how the internet can be better detectives than the actual people who get paid to do detective work. And the internet people just do their job for them, man. It's crazy. You know, as I say all the time, man, you know, the definition of a snitch is somebody who helps them people do their job. And if you pay attention to everything that Damian Porter is saying here, he's basically giving you a laundry list of people who are helping them people do their job. People who are supposed to be from the streets, people who are supposed to be gang members and gang bangers and all this type of shit, man. This shit is crazy, but let's continue.
Huey, big U, son. And now, so that's two. Taco, look, check me out, follow me. The taco stand, Lil Bandit from Pueblo. Multiple individuals. Poetic Flakko had a whole dissertation on this. A whole investigation. He talking about cars that were there, how Ant Jefe was there. Not only that, in Poetic Flakko's video, it was a dude from Pueblo's that Poetic Flakko had played a clip of, and this individual had a whole narrative here on the internet about young Ant Jefe knocking off Little Bandit, his homie. This is a dude who was driving in this car, had a hat on. He's a blood, Pueblo. He explained what happened.
Yeah, and I did see that video, and you know, I just because I can't even show a video of somebody snitching. I feel like too close to snitching my damn self if I show a video of somebody snitching, especially on a situation where, you know, it's an open case and this man hasn't even stood trial or, you know, been to court, you know, ain't had an opportunity to defend himself or prove his innocence or anything like that. Yeah, man, you know, like he just described, there's a video of this dude who is portraying himself to be a blood gang member. You know, I don't know if he is from Pueblos himself, but he did make it known that he's a blood and that the dude, Lil Bandit from Pueblo Bishop Bloods, you know, got killed, and he goes on to explain the whole situation allegedly as to what happened. And this is somebody who's supposed to be an active gang member, man. This shit is crazy because, you know, you got all these gang members who talk so much shit about non-affiliates, like, you know, being a non-affiliate just automatically classifies you as a mark or a buster or what have you. But man, shit, I'm glad I'm a non-affiliate. You know, I'm from Los Angeles County, man, Long Beach, California, man. And I'm so proud and glad to be a damn non-affiliate, man. I'm so glad I ain't never been a part of nobody's set because, especially nowadays, man, because, man, these niggas is telling. Not to say that non-affiliates ain't telling too, because I know they definitely are, just like gang members is telling, but I just want y'all to pay attention, man. Hey, these so-called gangsters is, you know, snitches. And if you just so happen to be a gangster at a party, you know, you thinking you at a gangster party, but you a gangster at a snitch party. But let's continue.
The taco stand. And he too named Ant Jefe on the internet. He said Ant Jefe pulled up and the homies didn't know who he was. So, you know, the homies pressed him. Ant Jefe painted his hood. They didn't know he was a popular YouTuber. Words were exchanged, this and that. And the next thing you know, Ant Jefe went back to his car and came back and there was 7, 8 shots fired. Whoa! This is a blood member on the internet saying this. Okay. And then now Poetic Flakko says, this is what got me to doing this video this morning. Because then Poetic Flakko, because I wasn't going to, Poetic Flakko now says, another video, that he spoke with Ant Jefe's family or some individual named Remo, because he gave Remo credit. Poetic Flakko did in this video, said, shout out to Remo. He's been doing a lot of great investigative work or detective work. He used one of those words, investigative or detective. He's been doing a lot of great investigative or detective.
And yeah, man, I've been saying that shit from the gate, man. You know, I don't watch No Jumper no more. I don't watch Poetic Flakko's platform. I don't watch any of that type of content, right? But before I stopped watching No Jumper, I believe that's when the Remo dude came around. Anybody who's ever seen that guy, man, he just looks like an officer. He don't look like a snitch, or he don't look like somebody that'll be an informant or something like that. No, that nigga Remo looked like a straight sworn in officer, man. And I wouldn't be surprised if he is, man. He just remind me of Jay Reed on In Too Deep, man. Like, that boy Remo, man. Matter of fact, let me see if I can pull up a picture of Remo, man. Hold on, man. I got to show y'all this Remo dude, man. Y'all got to see what he looked like. I'm trying to remember how he spelled his name. Just so y'all see what I'm talking about, man. I think it's like this. I think that's how he spelled it. He got the whole police look down, like, and then the questions that he be asking when he be interviewing people, man. Dude look like a straight police officer, a sworn in officer, not a snitch, not an informant. This man look like the police, man. Not saying that he is, because, you know, I don't put jackets on people that don't belong. I'm just saying what he looked like and the vibe that he give off. He should have been, if he's not an officer, he should have been one. He would have made the perfect officer. You hear Flakko on here talking about he doing great detective work or great investigative work and all this shit, man. Wait till you see this dude, man. For those of y'all that haven't seen him. Oh, I ain't signed in. Hold on. Man, this dude look like an officer, man. In this picture right here, everybody look lame. I don't know who all in that picture, but oh, he ain't really got no pictures of his. Oh, here he go. Damn, they won't let me. Hold on. I ain't signed in. I ain't trying to sign in right now. Just see if I get a picture of this Remo dude so I can show y'all, man. People be thinking Freeze extreme and shit like that. Look at this dude, man. Come on, man. My internet moving slow as a motherfucker, man. And I don't know why. I done clicked on this picture and stuff. Okay, there we go. Look at this dude. Y'all gonna sit here and tell me this dude don't look like 5'0"? You 5'0". Like the nigga on Deep Covered. You look like 5'0". Man, that nigga look like an officer, man. He got an officer mustache. He got the officer. He just got the whole officer demeanor, man. Oh, I gotta go right here. There we go. Nigga look like he stay arresting motherfuckers. Man, that nigga look like he got about 1,000 arrests under his belt, man. Look at this nigga, man. He look like a nigga that done arrested me before. He look like a nigga that done put me in handcuffs before, man. Look at this nigga, man. You can't tell me this nigga don't look like the police, man. Who in the fuck would sit down and chop it up with this nigga on the interview, man? Like, for real, though, man. Who sits up and chops it up with this guy? Who does interviews with this guy, man? Like, I would be scared. I couldn't even, like, if I was to, like, just say I didn't know nothing about no jumper, I just wanted to go up there and do an interview, right? If I walk in and see this dude, man, I'm going to get scared. I'm going to probably turn around and walk away, man. I'll be scared to do an interview with a guy like this that just look like this. You know what I mean? This shit crazy. But that's the guy that Flakko was talking about is doing great detective or investigative work just so you have a face with the name. He looked like somebody that does great detective work. But let's continue.
That's what we know how poetic Flakko is. He says that himself, Poetic Flakko, or Remo, spoke with Ant Jefe's family. This is a different video. One video, Poetic Flakko's gave a whole, it was like 48 hours, or the first 48, or Dateline. I mean, put a whole case together on how it was the taco stand situation. Gave a whole timeline I didn't react to that. I'm not reacting to none of this stuff. I'm good. I'm speaking on it now for a reason. Stay with me.
And see, you know, that's why, you know, shout out to Damian Porter, man, because I'm the same way, man. You know, y'all already know me, man. I'm not the type of person to just do things just for the sake of clicks and views and shit like that, man. I don't do things just because it's the hot topic right now and all that. Certain things I just can't touch. That's just like I couldn't show y'all the full Compton Rick Rock video that I was about to show you because Compton Rick Rock has the clip of the guy in the video saying what he was saying about young Ant Jefe. Man, I can't even repeat the shit that he was saying. Man, that shit was just crazy. You know what I mean? But you got all these dudes on the internet, many of whom come from the streets and are self-proclaimed gang members and gang bangers, and they're placing this man at the scene of a crime and alleging that he could have possibly committed these crimes. As you heard Damian Porter just say, man, they putting 3 different hot ones on Ant Jefe's name. And what they don't understand or what they don't consider and think about is the fact that them people watch these podcasts, man. I don't know how many times I got to say it and people still won't let it sink in, but when they did that press conference after they did the RICO case with Big U, the federal agent let it be known that a lot of their evidence came from podcasts, YouTube. They let that be known. They said that themselves. So, you know, the fact that these dudes just, you know, they supposed to be gang members and gang bangers, and they speaking on this shit and putting these allegations out there that the police themselves haven't put out there. Man, you don't think they're gonna consider that? You don't think they're gonna make note of that and you know, consider that to be a lead that they gonna follow? Come on, man. Shit crazy.
Now, Poetic Flakko says, without apologizing for the other video or taking accountability for the other video about the taco stand, he just went on to say, now, due to him and Remo's great investigative work, they spoke with Ant Jefe's family. I'll say I don't know, Poetic Flakko himself or Remo, spoke with Ant Jefe's family, and Ant Jefe's family, according to Poetic Flakko, go check out the video, said that it was a A-Trade gangster who received a DP, a discipline, a couple of months back. And Ant Jefe happened to be there when the individual received his DP, but Ant Jefe did not touch this individual at all. He just happened to be there when the DP happened. But apparently they beat this individual so bad that he died. And then the robbery charges came in because they ran up to his car and took some stuff or whatever. So Ant Jefe's family, this is all according to Poetic Flakko, is saying that he had nothing to do with anything, that he just happened to be there and didn't put his hands on this individual. Whomever else beat this individual, a so-called DP, which is a discipline for whatever he is supposed to have done wrong, and so bad that he died, killed him. And since Ant Jefe was in the vicinity, they charged him with it. It's him and 3 other A-Trade gangsters that have been arrested for this, 4 in total. Ant Jefe is just the name that we know about. Is 4 individuals that have been arrested for this crime. Ant Jefe just happens to be one of them. This is not coming from me whatsoever. This is coming from Poetic Flakko, who said.
And see, you know, Poetic Flakko, you know, I don't look at him the same way I look at everybody else because 1, he's not from LA, and 2, he's not from the streets. But 3, which is really number 1, I do kind of got to hold Flakko accountable to a certain extent because he is a black man and he portrays himself as somebody who cares so much about the black community and always holds gang members to a certain standard when it comes to how they are towards the black community and how they harm the black community. But man, Flakko, he ain't no help to the black community at all. His damn self. He does more harm than help to the black community. Listen to what he's saying. Like, he's saying that Ant Jefe's family basically placed him at the scene of a crime, but saying that he didn't commit the crime even though he was at the scene. Why would his family do that, first of all? I just find that hard to believe. And then second of all, by you saying that, you know, you could be potentially putting his family in danger because, you know, by using the word family, that could be so many different people. And, you know, saying something like that could put them in danger because somebody might want to go see them about what they saying. And you know, in not such a welcoming type of way. So, yeah, man, Flakko, like I said, me, myself, I don't watch none of his content. I don't watch No Jumper. You know, them people will never get a click or a like from me, a view, none of that type of shit. And this is why. Look at the type of shit they do, man. You know, people will be cool with them types of guys, do content with them, but then here it is now, Ant Jefe is in jail. Everybody about to make money off of Ant Jefe, but let's see how many people reach for him after they make all this money off of him. Because you know No Jumper about to make a bankroll off of Ant Jefe right now. Flakko for sure is going to make a bankroll off of Ant Jefe right now. But let's see if they reach for him, though. Let's continue.
That he spoke with Ant Jefe's family. He himself or this individual named Remo. Go check out Poetic Flakko's video. Which one is it? Three different unalivings they've accused this man of in 24 hours. Three. The taco stand, Lil Bandit, multiple individuals made videos on this saying that he did this. Just because someone died at the taco stand a couple days before he got arrested doesn't mean that he did it. People die around there, gang-related LA and all that every day. Then someone, and I don't know what it is. Let me say that. It could be the taco stand. I have no idea. But neither does anyone else. Is the point. Clearly. Because people are saying it's when I say people, I'm talking about content creators, podcasters who have a responsibility to the public, to their viewers, to bring facts and not to put someone's name in something that can turn out not to be true. Is he responsible for, either he's responsible for all of these unalivings, or he's responsible or being accused of one of them, and two people or two cases have been put on him on the internet that should not have been put on him, that is not accurate. Murders. Because Seti Nash said, again, they saying that it was Big U's son that Ant Jefe was arrested for unaliving. Baby Huey, who was unalived wherever it was at, somewhere on Fig sometime back 9 months ago or something. And Seti Nash went on to say, boy, if he did that, it's going to be a hot summer. That's going to start a war. You know, A-Trade Gangster 60, if he did that, well, I ain't saying he did it. That's what they saying, though. Who is they? Who is they? Hell, did he kill Tupac and Biggie? You just bringing up stuff in the past and just stuff that's unsolved. You just bringing it up now and putting it on this man on the internet. You had a whole gangbanger.
And see, it don't even matter who they is, you know, because they can say anything. But Seti Nash, you know, he's another one. He's one of those guys that fit the category of what I'm talking about. Self-proclaimed alleged gang members, you know, dudes that come from the streets, that do this kind of stuff on the internet. Seti Nash is I don't know, man. I don't even like looking at these dudes, talking about these dudes, thinking about these dudes, man. You know, yeah, that dude, it's so much shit with him. I'll be all night talking about him just by itself. You know, he's a whole different, you know, video in and of himself. But he's a self-proclaimed Crip, you know, supposedly from Rolling 60s, but, you know, also once upon a time was from Strawberry Manor Gangster Crip in Sacramento. Now he's supposed to be a Rolling 60 Crip. And, you know, he doing stuff like this, like placing guys at the scene of a crime that the police haven't even placed them at. Shit is crazy, man. Let's continue.
Again, he had to have been from Pablo's. I believe he said he was, and he was talking about, because he kept saying, rest in peace to the homie Lil Bad. He put this on the internet. Look at it, man. It's on the internet. Go look at Poetic Flakko. Freaking sickening. This is nasty work. This is bad. This is wrong. Putting all this on this man. Wow. Whole gang members. First of all, that's snitching. Because just because he's been arrested doesn't mean that he's guilty or he hasn't been found guilty of anything. Let's say it was the taco situation. You are a gang member from this hood of the individual, of the victim, on the internet saying that this man pulled up, got into it with your homie, went back to his car, came and opened fire. He hasn't been found guilty of this.
Yeah, man. So basically you get the gist of what's going on this internet. And I done got my camera cool now. Let's see. Let's test it out. Hold on. I think my camera should be good now. Come on, man. Come on, man. Cooperate with. There we go. Okay, now we got the camera back. We back cool with the camera, man. And damn near 40 minutes into the video, man. Let me handle my first order of business and put some love in my body, man. As a pimp was having technical difficulties earlier. If you ain't wiped your feet off at the door, man, you're tripping. Do a pimp a favor. Wipe your feet off at the door. Oh, man, yeah, only 63 of y'all done wiped your feet off at the door? Come on, man, hit that like button. Wipe your feet off at the door when you step into a pimp's domain. Cheers to the game. Yeah, man, I hope everybody's paying attention to this young Ant Jefe situation and looking at it through the right lenses, man. First of all, I want to say, you know, may the Most High have mercy on the situation regarding young Ant Jefe. You know, I don't know him personally, but from what I see of him on the internet, he seems like a solid dude. He seems like a man of integrity. He appears to be a family man that takes care of his family and his kids and whatnot. And I'm pretty sure some people right now that are depending upon Ant Jefe, right? Some people that he's a blessing to. I'm sure that they feeling this situation right now, man. So again, may the Most High have mercy on the young Ant Jefe regarding the situation, man. You know, like I said, hopefully people are looking at this through the right lenses, man, because, you know, here it is. You have this guy, high profile on the internet, who I'm sure a lot of people would like to see fail. And like I've talked about before, man, that's one of the problems with the internet that a lot of people are affected by, and a lot of people don't know how to maintain themselves in spite of. But when it comes to this internet, man, it just turns people into suckers. It's just as powerful as, rock cocaine or crystal meth or heroin or fentanyl, any of that other shit. This internet is just as powerful. And just like you might have somebody that was once upon a time a fine, upstanding, tax-paying citizen that went bad on dope, and now they, breaking into cars and breaking into people's houses and shoplifting and stealing shit out of Walmart and all that type of shit. Whereas they never would have did that before they got hooked on drugs. It's the same thing with this internet, man. You got a lot of people on this internet that's doing all types of shit that they probably never would have done if they never would have got wrapped up in the internet, man. And, one of those things is inadvertently helping them people do their job. A lot of these dudes on here are supposed to be gangsters and all this type of shit, man. But, one, they seem to have forgotten the street code. But then even more so, too, see, me, I look at it a little differently than everybody else. Yeah, I never help the people do their job because I've been a part of the street life for so long. I've done my thing in the streets for so long. I just could never see myself helping them people do their job in any kind of way. But beyond the street shit, I look at it as a black thing, as a black man. That's why, like I said, I look at Flakko crazy because he's a black man that acts like a black woman sometimes, but he's still a black man or a black male. But, just as a black man, I don't think any of us have any business helping them people do their job. Now, I can't look at you too crazy. Like if you're a person that was never in the streets, you never a part of the street life. You always been a, working class, tax-paying citizen, businessman, whatever it is in the square world, and somebody perpetrates you and you decide to involve the police. I can't look at you too crazy, right? Because that's part of what you pay taxes for. But just me as a black man, I don't believe in helping them people do their job because I believe the main part of their purpose for being here is to arrest us and put us in a system where they make money off of us, and get cheap labor off of us and just, exploit us and just milk us in so many fucked up ways. That'll be a whole different conversation. But yeah, this situation with Ant Jefe is just really unfortunate, man. It just goes to show you, and people don't see the trend with No Jumper. Now, I'm not saying that No Jumper is the reason why Ant Jefe is locked up, but it just baffles me how people don't see the trend of No Jumper, right? They acquire all of these dudes from the streets, Crips, Bloods, Hoovers, and whatnot. And they get content from these guys, make money off of these guys. And, a lot of these dudes put themselves in situations, right? Or find themselves in situations. Some of these dudes put themselves in situations. A lot of these dudes find themselves in situations. But whatever the case, what they don't think about is the fact that they're on No Jumper amplifies whatever, they might have going on. Like young Ant Jefe, if he wasn't on No Jumper, this probably wouldn't be such a big deal like it is. And all of this content that could potentially hurt his case probably wouldn't be getting created about him if he wasn't a part of No Jumper, right? So while No Jumper isn't directly to blame for Ant Jefe being in jail, his association with No Jumper could potentially hurt his case or hurt his situation. Because by him being associated with No Jumper, that's going to bring out all the internet detectives, many of whom are self-proclaimed gangsters and gang members and gang bangers and all that shit. and they gonna help the people do their job. Seti Nash is helping them people do their job. What is supposed to be cripping ass. A lot of these other people is helping them people do their job. Flakko is for sure helping them people do their job. Right? And, you know, the people on No Jumper that are supposed to be, you know, his co-workers or cohorts or whatever, you know, people that he's supposed to be cool with, they just see him as an opportunity to make content now. You know, but I'm curious to know if any of them people done checked on his family. I'm curious to know if any of them people are taking steps to, you know, get him a lawyer, you know, see if they can get a bond hearing and get his bail reduced. And, you know, because a lot of them dudes come from the streets. So they know the process. They know what goes on. So they know things that they could possibly do. And I'm just curious to know if while they making all this content on them, are they doing things like that? Right? That's one thing I could say that I respect about Compton Rick Rock. When Compton Rick Rock was making, you know, a bunch of content on, I believe it was Big U and Loose Cannon and, you know, different guys that was in jail, Compton Rick Rock went and put money on their books. He made a video of himself going down to the LA County Jail or wherever it was. I think it was the LA County Jail, but he went to a facility and put money on the books of guys that he was making content about and making money off of. And in the video, he said, you know, if I get paid, you get paid. So, you know, I'm just curious to know if any of these dudes have any type of concern for young Ant Jefe personally, in his family, in his situation and what's going on. And No Jumper definitely ain't looking at it like that. Because when Brick Baby got locked up, Adam was on the internet talking about how Brick Baby was in debt to him and how Brick Baby had borrowed and owed money to him. But I'm sure that the money that he made off of the content off of Brick Baby was more than whatever Brick Baby supposedly owed him. But does Adam have the same outlook as Compton Rick Rock? Whereas if I get paid, you get paid? Because the way I see it with No Jumper, right? If you a No Jumper host, if you're employed by No Jumper and you get paid when you go to No Jumper and do content, if you go to jail and you're the subject of content at No Jumper, even though you're not physically there, if you're the subject of that content and that content is doing numbers, then it should be treated as though you're there physically. It should be treated as though you're working, because you being the topic is generating numbers, which generates money. So if you the topic and you in jail and you're employed by No Jumper, you should still be getting paid just the same as if you was physically at No Jumper. That's the way I see it. Because you're still making No Jumper money even though you're not physically there. It's like when Tupac died or when Biggie died, and, you know, they still generating all this money still to this day, 30 years later. They're the reason why the money is being made. So in Tupac's case, yeah, his estate, which is being controlled, I believe, by his sister at this point, which is his family, you know, they still get the money. But then you have situations where there's different rappers who have died, different entertainers who have died, and because the contracts or the paperwork wasn't right, they still generating money for a label, even though they're not physically here no more, and they family and loved ones ain't seeing none of it, which is crazy. But yeah, man, I feel bad for young Ant Jefe, man. I hope that the work of these internet detectives does not go on to help the real detectives and the real police officers. I really hope it don't, because these people, they don't care, man. You know, they strung out on clout. All they give a damn about is some numbers. It's like, you know, they ain't got no life beyond this type of shit. And it's, you know, it's crazy because a lot of these dudes, man, is creating content and doing numbers, man. They really don't even deserve to like, they don't deserve to have big platforms, because a lot of them ain't really talented. They're not really, you know, it's nothing really to them. You know, like, if I just wanted to be the biggest on YouTube, if that was my focus and I didn't have integrity and I didn't care about anything but the numbers, man, I'd blow all these dudes out the water. You know what I mean? The Poetic Flakkos, the Seti Nashes, you know, first of all, just off of looks alone, you know what I mean? I'm not as hard to look at as them niggas, so just off the looks alone, I'm going to kill their ass. Because them niggas is ugly as hell, you know what I mean? Flakko and Seti Nash, man, those are some hard guys to look at, man. You know, and both of them have platforms in the hundreds of thousands. So hundreds of thousands of people are subscribed to them and watch their content knowing that they look a damn fool. So if them ugly ass niggas could blow up as big as they are, you know, the way that they have, you know, if I was on that type of time, man, I would be way bigger than them. You know, but it's just certain things that my integrity won't allow me to do, which is most of what they do. Right? But I say all of that to say, you know, them dudes, they not talented at all, man. They don't focus on being the best content creators. They just focus on, you know, putting out the content on the hottest topic. And anybody can do that. Now, you have people that are better than others. But, you know, I can't really speak for Seti Nash because I haven't really seen any of his earlier content. But somebody like Flakko, if you go back and watch his earlier content, man, this nigga was stuttering over everything. He just sounded terrible. But as they say, practice makes perfect. As he continued on, you know, naturally you're going to get better. If you keep doing the same thing every day, you're going to get better at it. I don't know if he took some speech classes or did whatever he did. He done got a whole lot better with his stuttering. He don't stutter the same like he used to. He still a stutter every once in a while, but he don't stutter nearly as much as he used to. But that doesn't mean that he's talented. That just means that, you know, he worked at something and he got better. But a lot of these dudes, they just don't have it. They just are the ones, like the stuff that Flakko do. He has a video on his platform right now that I haven't went to his platform and watched, but I know that he has this video where it's supposed to be a video of the young man losing his life at the taco stand, the dude from Pueblo Bishops. It's supposed to be a video of that. And he's, you know, alleging that Ant Jefe could possibly have something to do with that. I can't do stuff like that. I can't get video footage of somebody. First of all, I don't even like watching videos of people getting unalived and, you know, losing their life. I don't even watch them type of videos. You know, the video of King Von, the video of Nipsey Hussle, a whole bunch of other videos of people losing their life. I don't watch them type of videos. So I definitely couldn't put it on my platform. But, you know, I'm saying all of this to say, man, these dudes, they just, all they care about is the clicks and the views. They hooked on the clout that comes with YouTube. And, of course, the money that comes with it. but it's not like they're really like very talented. Like Compton Rick Rock, on the other hand, he's talented. You know, he's good at what he does. Damian Porter, he's good at what he does. Right? Like people like Compton Rick Rock, Damian Porter, 16 to Life, those guys, they could be big on YouTube even if they didn't talk about hot topics. If they just talked about their lives, because they've lived interesting lives. They come from the streets. All of them did time in prison, and they all in their 40s or 50s, and you know, they're great at telling stories, and they're entertaining, they're funny, they got personality. You know, those are dudes that, you know, belong on YouTube. Those are guys that should have big platforms, even though they're not as big as like a Seti Nash or a Flakko, but it's just a matter of time. They're going to get there. But, you know, there's a distinct difference between guys like that and guys like Seti Nash and Flakko and, you know, all the other dudes like them. Man, and it is, you know, it's just disgusting to watch them dudes, man, do their thing, man. And, you know, I just feel bad for people like Ant Jefe, because he's cool with a lot of these dudes that are doing content about him right now. And like I said, man, I just want to see if they're going to do anything. Like, even if you don't, because see, this is how you can utilize your platform. See, the way I see it, man, even if you don't want to go in your pockets, even though you're making money off of young Ant Jefe, even if you don't want to go in your pockets, create a GoFundMe for him. You know, if Adam or Flakko or Seti Nash or any of those guys with you know, the bigger platforms, Adam being the biggest of them all, if any of those guys created a GoFundMe and told people to donate on behalf of Ant Jefe, I can't even imagine the numbers that shit would do. Look at the Chud the Builder situation. And Chud the Builder, you know, he don't have a platform as big as No Jumper, not nearly. I wouldn't even say that his platform is as big or that he's as big on the internet as Ant Jefe. Now, because he just, you know, shot somebody and made a dumbass fool of himself, and now he in jail, yeah, he's bigger now, but shit, Ant Jefe's in jail, and he got all this, like TMZ, all these people is talking about Ant Jefe right now. If somebody with a big platform like that was to create a GoFundMe for him, that shit would go up. And that would be your way to repay him for making all this money off of him from the content that you're making with him being the subject of it. That's how you pay him back. You ain't got to dig in your pocket. You just utilizing your platform to get people to donate to his GoFundMe, and you still making money off of him. You getting people to donate, so he's getting money off of it that could potentially help his situation. Like that $1 million bond, that shit shouldn't be nothing. If they use their platform the right way, that shouldn't be nothing. And even make a little donation yourself, you know. Put a few bands up or something. It ain't got to be nothing too crazy. Put a few bands up just to get that shit going. And when people see, let's just say hypothetically, they all came together and said, you know what, Seti Nash, Flakko, No Jumper, and whoever else is making content, even the ones that ain't goofies like the ones I just named, 16 to Life, Damian Porter, Compton Rick Rock, even Munchie B, Spody Face. Let's say all of them came together and was like, you know what, we about to put this GoFundMe together for young Ant Jefe, and we gonna promote it, we gonna push it, and we all gonna throw something in. Even if they all just throw in $1,000 a piece. You know what I mean? That'll get the ball rolling good. Like let's see. No Jumper, Seti Nash, Flakko, Compton Rick Rock, Damian Porter, 16 to Life, Munchie B, Spody Face. That's 8 bands right there. That's a hell of a start. And, you know, with all of their platforms promoting this GoFundMe, man, that shit will do numbers. If Chud the Builder, who just came out of nowhere, can generate, you know, over $200,000 in a couple of days, and he don't even have the help of all these platforms that I just named, man, shit. Ant Jefe will do crazy numbers. Whatever his bail is, he'll have that shit paid in no time. You know, $100,000 because his bail is $1 million. $100,000 plus collateral. That he'll have that 100 in no time. If they all had that type of approach, which they should, because like I said, everybody is making money off of him right now, and they're going to continue to make money off of him. So why not come together and do something to support that man? Because he put money in your pocket. That's the way I would do it. It's 10% in Cali, 100,000, right? Like Yadaka say, that's what it is, you know. But so by his bail being $1 million right now, which it might get reduced, but then again, if it's you know, I don't know what the situation is. They saying it's a hot one. I ain't really looked to confirm anything, but like I said, some reliable people saying it's a hot one. So let's say it's a hot one. It might not get reduced, but you know, between all of them dudes, you know, somebody got the collateral, and the whole YouTube audience got 100 for sure. And some bondsmen will fuck with you. You know, some bondsmen will just take the 100,000 and be like, you know what, we ain't tripping on the collateral right now. He can be the collateral himself when he get out. You know, which, you know, if he was to get bailed out, you know, Ant Jefe gonna do numbers. Let's just say he was to get bailed out, right? Me, I'll be on my full extra shit. I'm not doing no interviews unless it's 50 bands. I'm asking for it. If I'm Ant Jefe and I was to get bailed out of this situation, man, 50 bands. You know? But then again, I don't know, you know, because Ant Jefe is cool with certain people. Like, I know he cool with Cam Capone. And Cam Capone got a cool platform. He's a bigger YouTuber that he don't strike me as being on no sucker shit like Vlad and No Jumper and the rest of them, man. Cam Capone seemed cool. So if I was Ant Jefe, I'd probably lower the price for somebody like Cam Capone. But everybody else, I'm asking for it. You got to pay. You got to break mines off. You know what I mean? For real. But, you know, I don't know what Ant Jefe's personal financial situation is. I know he make money off of YouTube, but you just never know what people's personal situation is, what they got going on. And then see what a lot of people don't understand, man, is like when you a breadwinner, a lot of people will depend on you, especially when you come from the hood, you come from poverty. You know, you always gonna have people that need something, and it's like these your people, so it's like you gonna fuck with them. No matter how crazy it may seem, no matter what people might say, all that shit, man. When you come from the hood and you got people around you that's struggling, people that you love, you're going to reach for them. You're going to look out for them, man. So I can just imagine that Ant Jefe does a lot for a lot of people. He probably make a lot of money off of YouTube, or some good money, but You know, probably not no millions or nothing like that, but I'm sure he made good money on YouTube. But at the same time, I'm sure he takes care of a lot of people as well. So, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if he just had 100 bands sitting around, but I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't either. Cause I'm just sure that he takes care of a lot of people. I'm sure he do a lot for a lot of people. So, man, I hate to see this type of shit, man. And what I really hate is, you know, cause people ain't putting themselves in them shoes. Now, me, I ain't never had these types of charges. So I ain't even gonna sit here and try to pretend like I know what it's like to be in that situation as far as facing them kind of charges. But I know what it's like to be sitting in jail defenseless. You ain't got no bail money. You ain't got no lawyer money. And, you know, people just out there living their life. And see, that's what it is, man. Like, see, Damian Porter, he's not doing certain shit that he easily could be doing because he knows what it's like to be in that situation. He knows what it's like to be sitting in that LA County jail around a bunch of funky ass niggas eating bologna sandwiches and peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, and you don't know when you're going to get out that motherfucker. Damian Porter know what that's like. 16 to Life know what that's like. Compton Rick Rock know what that's like. So, you know, that's why they ain't gonna do certain shit. But in me, I know what that's like. Not like I said, not facing them kind of charges, but I just know what it's like sitting in that county jail, man. And I wouldn't wish that on Ant Jefe, man. So I look at it like, man, shit. That's why me, like I said, I don't know him personally. I ain't never had a conversation with him. I ain't never interacted with him or none of that. But just as him being a black man and him coming from the streets, man, it's just certain shit my integrity won't allow me to do. And I can't repost videos of niggas snitching. I can't post videos of alleged footage of crimes taking place and then putting the name with this crime and putting a motherfucker at the crime scene and shit. I can't do all that shit, man. I don't even know how niggas do it, man. That shit is, I don't know how they do it. For real. Yeah, I don't know how they do it. Right, like Oppie Energy says, if these racists can get all that support, this should be easy. For real. It really should, though. Like 100 bands for show. Like they should be able to put together 100 for show for young Ant Jefe, but I wouldn't be surprised if it ended up being some hundreds of bands. Several hundred bands. I wouldn't be surprised if he ended up putting them kind of numbers up. And come on, man. It's only 97 of y'all done wiped your feet off at the door when you step to a pimp's domain, man. Do a pimp a favor. Hit that like button. Wipe your feet off at the door when you step into a pimp's domain. Hit that like button. Shout out these supers right quick. Hold up. Shit, knock my love over. Oh shit. Damn. Tripping. Bougie Jabot. I think that's how you pronounce your name. Good looking with the $5 holla. Freeze, what is a good script to tell new turnouts interested in the game? something to get them across the finish line. That's a different conversation for a different live, man. We talking about the young Ant Jefe situation right now. You had to ask that question again at a different time. But good looking though. Ty Maestro, good looking with the $5 holler. Their looks are not aligned with the will of God. Simple. For real, yeah. People like Seti Nash and Flakko, man. Yeah, they looks definitely ain't aligned with the will of God. Not at all. For real. Eat Books, good looking with the $5 holler. GoFund will be cool, will be the cool thing to do, but No Jumper wouldn't even loan the bail for Brick Baby. Adam Wack, I guess you meant to say Adam and Wack done more damage to Cali sets than Cash. Yeah, and like I said, that right there wouldn't cost them anything but a little bit of time and a little bit of effort to create a GoFundMe and promote that shit on No Jumper. Me, I'm just a different breed, and I couldn't expect Adam to have the same type of love for people that I do. But me, I would put the GoFundMe link like on the front page, like on my Instagram. I don't know how many followers Adam got, but I'm sure he got probably some millions. But on the No Jumper Instagram, Adam's personal Instagram, I would put the link in the bio to the GoFundMe. On the No Jumper channel on YouTube, because they got No Jumper, they got the No Jumper Clips channel. On all the No Jumper channels on YouTube, I will put the link to the GoFundMe on there. I will put it in the bio of all the videos that I make about young Ant Jefe. I will put the link to the GoFundMe in there. That's what I would do, man. I don't know, but like I said, I'd be expecting too much of people if I think they're gonna be like me. So that's why I don't even look at people like that. But if I was in that situation, if I had a big ass platform like that and somebody that's helping bring views to my channel, just so happen to be in an unfortunate situation like that, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna create a GoFundMe for them. I'm gonna promote the fuck out of it. I'm gonna make posts in my community section on my YouTube. I'm gonna make posts on Instagram, Facebook, all that shit, Twitter, everything. And I'm gonna promote the hell out that GoFundMe, and I'm gonna make sure people run it up. And I'm gonna encourage all of my hosts to do the same thing because they all got their own platforms. Munchie B got his own platform. Flakko, even though supposedly he ain't with No Jumper no more, I don't know, but all them people got their own platforms that they can promote that shit on. So yeah, everybody would be promoting that shit if it was me. But unfortunately for Ant Jefe, he dealing with those guys, not the real guys, you dig? Eat Books, good looking again with the $5 holler. What seems odd is that Wax seems Teflon with No Jumper. He is the only one that's been long term with No Jumper, while others fell out with Adam or got into trouble. It may seem like Wack has been there for a long time, but in comparison to other people, he been there probably, he been there for a while. But it's only a matter of time, man. That's what happens with everybody at No Jumper. The only person that then came back after they was, fired and is still there is Almighty Suspect. I think Suspect is still over there. I'm not sure. Like I said, I don't watch, but I think Suspect is still over there. But he's like the longest running person. Of course, Lush. Lush been there longer than everybody else. But aside from Lush, Suspect is like the longest running host over there. Suspect been there for some years now. But yeah, shit crazy, man. Or speaking of Suspect, I think he yeah, I don't know. I ain't even gonna speak on that. But Yeah, much love to Suspect though. Yeah, and you know it's I just wish more people if you gonna go to No Jumper, man, utilize it the right way. Me, somebody like myself, ain't going to No Jumper at all ever. No, under whatever circumstances. I just can't see myself being a part of anything like that. You know, I don't even watch they shit, let alone being a part of it. But you know, to those who you know are willing to be a part of No Jumper, I just wish they would utilize it the right way. Like Flakko, even though he a sucker ass nigga and everything like that, he utilized No Jumper the right way. He utilized it to establish his own platform. Now, even though his platform is still a lot smaller than No Jumper, if you want to talk about performance, yeah, Flakko, he probably giving No Jumper a run for their money as far as performance goes. Like he put up numbers. You know, so I just wish more people would, if you're gonna be on No Jumper, like take the same approach. Utilize that shit to build your own platform, but then focus and go hard on your own shit. See, the dudes that be on No Jumper, like I said, they all got their own platforms, but they invest more into No Jumper than they do into their own platforms. Flakko is the only one that I've seen that while he was at No Jumper, he invested in his platform more so than he did No Jumper. You know, AD and T-Rail and all of them, they didn't do it until they left No Jumper. They had their platforms while they were at No Jumper, but they didn't start going hard and investing in themselves more than they did No Jumper until they left No Jumper. Flakko is the only one I've seen that is invested in himself more than No Jumper while he was at No Jumper. You know, that's probably about the only positive thing I could say about his Buster ass. But I just wish, you know, more of these LA dudes would do the same thing, man. Who done more damage, Vlad or No Jumper to hood culture? I'd probably have to say No Jumper. Because, see, No Jumper is closer to the streets than Vlad TV is. You know, Vlad, he interviews certain street dudes that just so happen to have a lot of clout. But No Jumper, you know, I would say has a bigger impact on the streets because that's really all they have up there at this point is a bunch of dudes from the streets. So yeah, you know, it's you know, they're closer to the streets. So I would say No Jumper for sure does more damage. And it used to be a time where I thought Vlad was more predatory and more exploitative than Adam, but I don't see it that way no more. I think they're equal in that regard. They just have different styles. They have different approaches to things, and they may have different responses to things, but ultimately don't neither one of them give a damn about the people that they make money off of. Neither one of them. You know? Like the way Vlad just, you know, the way he just throw Ari Spears under the bus, and you know, I didn't watch the video that Vlad did with Corey Holcomb, but I know he just did a video with, or just did a podcast with Corey Holcomb, and I saw reaction videos to that podcast, and from what was being said, you know, Vlad was just throwing Ari Spears under the bus, and this is somebody that he always be saying is his friend, his good friend, my good friend Ari Spears, all this shit. But like I said, me myself, he showed me who he really was when he spoke ill and incorrectly on the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, and then when he was shown to be wrong and he admitted that he was wrong, he refused to apologize to Farrakhan. And basically was like, fuck him and fuck y'all. Y'all still gonna watch my shit. Y'all still gonna generate money for me, so fuck all y'all. That's the way I took it. I took it as a personal fuck you. So if it's fuck me, it's fuck you. I ain't gonna watch your shit no more. And, you know, just to go to show you the power of us as a people, see, when that shit happened with Farrakhan and Vlad, his subs went down. Not drastically, but a significant chunk of his subscribers went down. Because Vlad is way bigger now. I think he had like 6 or 7 million, something like that, if I'm not mistaken. But at the time when he lied about Farrakhan, he had like he had over 4 million subscribers. But I want to say he lost like a good 200,000 subscribers when that shit happened with Farrakhan. But then, you know, naturally and gradually his subs start going back up, and then he ended up passing where he was, and he's still going. But that just goes to show you the power of us, though. You know, and I wish more people would have unsubscribed to his ass so he could really feel it, because that's really all he did was just tell black folks, fuck you. I don't care about y'all, but I'm glad I'm making money off of y'all, but I don't care about y'all. And I don't respect y'all. You know? Boosie was the only one who held Vlad down during that Farrakhan saga, and now he's down talking Boosie too. Right. Like Cam G say. Well, I don't... You say he held him down during that Farrakhan thing, but I don't know if Boosie was locked in with Vlad like he ended up being at that time. I know he had did some stuff with Vlad, because see, up until he said, lied about Farrakhan, I remember everybody who was like his regulars on the show. It was Trey D. It was Lord Jamar. It was Godfrey. Those is like the main recurring people that he had, regularly on the show. Those was like the main ones, especially Lord Jamar. See, people don't really see it that way. And, Lord Jamar really don't get enough credit, man. But really, Lord Jamar is a critical piece of why Vlad TV ended up being as big as they was, man. Like, Lord Jamar, he was a dope-ass guest. He was always good to interview. That's why he kept bringing Lord Jamar's ass back, because Lord Jamar was doing numbers. And he validated Vlad TV just by him being an authentic, street dude, rapper, come from the hip-hop community. He's a well-respected pillar in the hip-hop community. And by him going on Vlad TV, he gave them another level of validation that wasn't there prior to him coming there. Vlad TV was already established and doing a thing, but when Lord Jamar came, it just boosted Vlad TV up drastically. And then Trey D coming on, Godfrey coming on, that added to it. But really, Lord Jamar is really he was like a pivotal piece to Vlad TV. If you ask me, like I said, I used to watch up until the Farrakhan thing. I used to watch Vlad TV all the time. I had been watching it for years. So I saw the growth and I saw the difference between before Lord Jamar was there and after Lord Jamar was there. And he really put a lot of bricks into the house of Vlad TV. Lord Jamar did. You dig? So, yeah, like I said, but he, because he doesn't have a big platform of his own. I mean, he got a respectable platform and it's a decent size, but it ain't as big as like a Vlad TV. He ain't in the millions. So people ain't gonna really recognize Lord Jamar like that and give him his flowers for that. But that's the truth, man. Like, I can't really say that. And then see, Lord Jamar is who he figured that out with. See, he learned a lot dealing with Vlad. He learned a lot dealing with Lord Jamar. Because Lord Jamar, he was really like the first, like how Vlad be having different people, like how he had Boosie on all the time, Ari Spears on all the time. Lord Jamar was like the first recurring guest on Vlad TV. He was the first person that like Vlad was like, you know what? I'm going to keep bringing him back. He figured something out with Lord Jamar and, that shit worked. So it's like, if it wasn't for a Lord Jamar, the situations that he had with Boosie and Ari Spears and BG Knockout, he was another one that was there before the Farrakhan thing. He's another one. It was, like I said, it was Trey D, Lord Jamar, Godfrey, BG Knockout. He was another one. You know what I mean? And he probably never would have figured that out if it wasn't for Lord Jamar. Because after Lord Jamar, it's like all of the guests that was good, he just kept bringing them back. Like he had Trey D on. Trey D was real good. He kept bringing Trey D back. He had Godfrey on. Godfrey was real good. He kept bringing him back. He had BG Knockout on. BG Knockout was real good. He kept bringing him back. And all of them dudes, they all contributed to Vlad TV being what it is right now. But it started with Lord Jamar, though. Like, he really changed the game for that platform. For real. Right, like Elisino say, Lord Jamar gave Vlad the recipe. He did. Yeah, Trey D from Long Beach, from the East Siders, rap with Snoop Dogg. That's what I'm talking about. He's another one that added a lot of validity to Vlad TV. Starving Like Marvin says, Freeze, do you know of Hood Educated channel is? No. I don't think I'm familiar with that channel. Hood Educated. But, yeah, nah, I'm not familiar. Eat Books, good looking with the $5 holla. Let's keep it 100 though. These YNs are hot air. No Jumper and Charlatan White last week. Oh, they had Charlatan White last week and they didn't touch him. Yet Suspect had no problem fighting Kelpie. Yeah. I don't know. See, this is what you got to keep in mind about YouTube as well, right? YouTube is really WWE. You got a lot of dudes on there that's going to talk, and it's not to say that they busters or that they weak or anything like that. But if you pay attention, all these dudes threaten each other. All these dudes talk shit about each other to each other on the internet. but nothing ever happens. You know, that's why me, I've had little issues with different people on the internet, but you don't ever hear me threatening to do something to them when I see them and all this old type of shit. And you know, I don't know. It's just WWE to me with a lot of these guys. So when Charlatan White came to No Jumper, he already done talked a whole lot of shit about LA, but again, I don't know what his energy was. I don't know if he still had the same energy away from No Jumper that he had at No Jumper. I don't know. I don't know if he still was standing on the same bullshit. I don't know. Because it's like, if he's there and he done became real nice in their face, and he not the same tough guy on the internet that he was in their face, then I could see why they wouldn't, press him or do anything like that. I don't know. I don't know how he was when he was there, so I can't really say. But, it's WWE with a lot of them dudes. No Jumper done had fake ass fades. They had the fake ass fade between China Mac and AD. They really acted like they caught the fade when they didn't. So that just goes to show you the extent of the WrestleMania ass shit that these motherfuckers will do just for clicks and views. So yeah, I don't believe none of that shit. Ebook says, word to Sinful to P. Jamar was Vlad's top 304 and went renegade on Vlad after he dissed the minister. He then replaced his stable with Boosie and Yayo. Damn, ebooks really don't like Lord Jamar. What'd he do to you, ebooks? Now Jamar's punk ass backstabbed Godfrey and went back crawling to Vlad after Godfrey and Dante exposed his flat earth stupidity. Damn. Yeah, I forgot about that. Because like I said, I don't be watching Vlad, but I did see that Lord Jamar had went back over there. I forgot about that. Yeah, which is like, you talked all that shit and then you went back over there. I totally forgot about all that. That's crazy. Yeah, I couldn't have did it, man. I couldn't have did it. Marty said, nah, they really got down, P. China Mac lost it. It got exposed on an episode of Community. I could have swore they admitted that shit was fake. I could be tripping, man, but I could have swore that somebody admitted that shit was fake. I can't remember if it was Adam or AD or China Mac. I can't remember, man, but I could have swore that they admitted that shit was fake, man. I might be tripping, though. You might be right. I might be wrong, man, but I could have swore, man, they admitted that shit was fake. That's just like the supposed to be fade with Lush and Almighty Suspect. I think that shit was fake. They always show like the after the fact. Like, why y'all don't show the actual fade? Why you always showing the after the fact? That's why I think all that shit fake, man. Nah, they really got down, P. Oh, yeah, I just read that. Okay. Don't know about Trey D. He went back before Jamar during the height of the NOI disrespect. Yeah, for a while, Trey D and BG Knockout, which I got love for Trey D and I got love for BG Knockout, but I was looking at them kind of side eye because both of them are Muslim. And I was tripping off of the fact that they were still going, even though they both ended up stop going. And at least with Trey D, it was just kind of quiet. Trey D just like quietly backed away from Vlad TV, at least from what I saw. And BG Knockout kind of seemed the same way. But, man, I don't know. 90s baby to university. Good looking with the $5 holler. Y'all had me crying laughing at work playing good cop, bad cop with that dude that got beat up and said he got jumped. Long live Sinful P. Damn. I'm trying to think. I think I know what video you talking about. I think I know what video you talking about, man. Because me and Simple have had several situations like that, but I kind of think I know which one you talking about. Man, I think I know which one you talking about, man. I ain't seen that video in so long. You made me want to go back and watch that shit. I think I know which one you talking about, man. And if it's the one I'm thinking of, that shit is funny as hell. Oh, shit. Yeah. That's funny as hell. Suppose the Prince says, shaking my head goes to show them so-called Muslim ass niggas be on bullshit. Yeah, because I'm not even Muslim. I'm just a black man. And just on behalf of black people, I couldn't comfortably watch Vlad TV after he disrespected not just the minister, and not just the Nation of Islam, but just black people as a whole. That's how I took it. I took it as a fuck you to black people as a whole. And really, even bigger than black people, just our culture. Which, even though it's black culture, you have other ethnicities that subscribe to our culture. Hip hop culture is black culture, but hip hop culture is bigger than just black people, right? So really, it was like he spit in the face of hip hop culture, period. Like we just some dumb, stupid ass people that's just going, no matter how much he disrespect us, we just gonna keep watching his shit. That's how I took it. So I'm like, oh, you think we stupid? You think you could just do us any kind of way and we gonna still support you? Hell no, not me. I was a subscriber. I wasn't just somebody to watch. Because you know how you got people on YouTube that you might not be subscribed to, but you watch their shit all the time. No, I was a subscriber. I unsubscribed and ain't watched the Vlad TV video. What was that, like 5 years ago? I ain't watched Vlad TV, not one episode in like 5 years. So that's how I took it. Simple talking about get them hoes up and get a job. Oh, man. Oh, see, A11B1 AC, all black. I think that's how you saying. You just spell it different. Says, I never watched Vlad again after he disrespected Sebi. It's been like 10 years now. See, I don't even remember him disrespecting Dr. Sebi. But I could believe it, though. I mean, look at shit. If he'll disrespect Farrakhan, I could definitely see him disrespecting Dr. Sebi. Suppose the Prince says, because the minister is definitely a part of the hip-hop culture. And no, I'm not a Muslim. For real. That's real talk. Hold on. 50 floors up. Good looking with the $2 holla. Are guys jealous of their women in the lifestyle? Like I said, man, that's another conversation for another live, but I guess we done covered the Ant Jefe situation pretty good. So if I'm gonna answer your question, I gotta go back and answer the other individual's question first. Who was that? Hey, where'd it go? Oh, Bougie Jabo said, Freeze, what is a good script to tell turnouts interested in the game? Something to get them across the finish line. Oh, hold up. Oh, so that's dope. See, I wonder if y'all can see that on the laptop or whatever. But shout out to CJ, not a bot. Good looking with the flow state gif. You dig? Appreciate that. Yeah, these gifs is a new thing they doing on YouTube now, man. But good looking with the gift though, man. Yeah, I think somebody sent the gift earlier too, but I didn't see it though. Well, I seen it, but I didn't know what it was. I didn't know it was a gift. I think somebody sent another gift earlier. But good looking. But far as Bougie Jabot, I don't know if that's how you say your name. I'll read the question again. Freeze, what is a good script to tell new turnouts interested in the game? Something to get them across the finish line. See, people be thinking when it comes to this game, it's just some cookie cutter shit. Like you could just have one little written script and it's going to work for every bitch. And it ain't like that when it comes to the game, man. You know, everybody is different. So, you know, that's why I say all the time, man, me, rather than teach somebody a specific thing to do, I would teach them how to think, you know, because it's, you know, when it comes to turning ladies out in the game, damn, what the fuck? Come on, man. Okay. When it comes to turning chicks out, man, you got to have a certain mind state. You have to be thinking a certain way so that you can see things and do things a certain way. That's why, like I say all the time, game alone isn't going to be good enough to do what we do and be what we are. You got to have something in you. And you have to, with it, along with that something in you, you got to have a certain type of mindset. Like the old cliche from Sugar Free. I could tell you 30 times how to pimp you a hoe, and I could tell you 30 more and you still won't know. It's that is so true. You know, people just look at that as like a clever line, but it is so real. Like right now, I could tell you something to tell a turnout, but you still ain't gonna be able to do it because you know either you the pimping or you're not. You dig? But to 50 floors up question, are guys jealous of their women in the lifestyle? Hell yeah. Hell yeah, you got dudes jealous of their women in the lifestyle. If you got 304s that's jealous of the pimping in the lifestyle, then you definitely got dudes that's jealous of they ladies, man. It's you know, I know every generation says that. With every generation that comes along, you have the older generation from before the current generation saying, oh, these niggas ain't this and they not that. But man, I be seeing some shit, man. I just seen a video earlier today, man, of this dude. He was trying to beat this 304 up in the parking lot, but he had he had some long dreads, man. And the bitch grabbed him by his dread. He was punching on her at first, but then she fucked around and she grabbed him by his dreads and pulled his head down and was punching on him. And he was like discombobulated, didn't fell on the ground and shit. She was whooping him for a little second. Then he got himself together and looked like he ended up getting the best of her. But like, you got to be a weenie, man. To let a chick, and the chick was like he wasn't no big dude. He was tall, but he was skinny. So he was kind of light in the ass, but he was like she was light in the ass too. So she was like half his size. And you let this little bitty ass bitch grab you by your hair and sling you around and punch on you. I'd just be like, man, who's making these guys? Where are they being manufactured? Where are they being created at, man? Who's making these niggas, man? Just like getting manhandled by bitches and, you know, getting treated like bitches by bitches. Like, where are these dudes coming from? Right? So I say all that to say, on the same token, just like they able to, get whooped on by a broad, because they got a lot of feminine ways about themselves. Naturally, along with these feminine ways, one of the things within their femininity is this, being jealous of the 304s. Because like I know that for sure, like, because we in the day of clout, we in the era of clout, everybody want clout. So I know that there's got to be situations out there where you have a 304 that got clout on the internet, social media, what have you, but her folks don't have the clout, and he wishes he did. And it might be situations where he out with the bitch and different fans see her and be like, oh, can I take a picture with you? Oh my God, I watch your stuff. I love you so much. Wooty wooty whoop. That makes certain people feel a certain type of way. And I had to learn that the hard way, man. Like I said, I had a 304 that was jealous of me, man. And it had been a few times where she'd be out in public with me and people would come up to me and be like, oh man, Freeze, man, I love your content, or I love your music, Freeze, or man, Freeze, man, can I get a picture with you? Or man, come on, Freeze, wooty wooty whoop. I done been with certain chicks and this has happened. And, certain chicks can look at it with admiration. Just like I'm pretty sure certain pimps could look at they 304 having clout with admiration. But then you have other motherfuckers that, they envy that. They eating their heart out. So, yeah, for sure, you definitely got dudes that's jealous of they 304s, which is hoish in and of itself. You dig? Lame as hell. Ebooks, good looking with the $10 holla. I don't like Lord Jamar the same way I don't like Kamala Harris. Pro cop DA who locked up a bunch of people for nonviolent crimes and pretended to be progressive. Jamar talks all this black power, but all lies. Well, yeah, as far as Kamala, yeah, I'm from California, so, I know about her history as an attorney general, and, it's just a dirty job. You got to be a dirty person to have a dirty job like that. So, yeah, I look at her like, yeah, you was never for black people. You never was, I don't know. Yeah, I'm not a fan of Kamala Harris neither. For real. Anybody that was a DA, attorney general, any of that type of shit, Freeze don't fuck with you. Fuck you. You dig. Yeah, I don't rock with none of them type of people, man. Supposed the Prince, good looking with the star. Supposed the Prince sent the pimp a star, you dig? Yeah, so he sent the star. 50 Floors Up sent the Flow State. Somebody else sent the Flow State too. See, it's weird with the gifts. The gifts is a little different than the super chats and shit. Cause it's like you can see them, but then they go away. I can't even see them on the laptop at all. Yeah. So if you gave a gift and I missed you, I didn't shout your gift out, man, you gotta excuse me. See, this gift shit is new. So I seen it earlier before CJ gave one. Somebody else gave a gift, but I didn't get the opportunity to shout it out. Let me see if I can go back and see it. Just scroll back in the chat. Let me see. Oh, a few of y'all sent gifts. Oh man. Hold on. See, I gotta pay attention. I gotta stay on top of the gifts, just like the super chats, you dig? Glock LA, good looking with the Flow State gift, you dig? And then Marquise Phillips, good looking with the stay hydrated jewels. Oh, that's dope. They got a stay hydrated gift. That's dope. That's some cool shit. He gave me a stay hydrated gift. That's what's up. That they need to trademark that for a pimp though. You did? Or I should have trademarked that shit, but they didn't already got it though. It's support for the Prince. Good looking with the thumbs up gift. You dig? They got the new cash out gifts. Yeah, see, I don't really know a whole lot about the gifts. I see they got all different kinds. Yeah, they got a whole bunch of different kind of gifts. I see a whole bunch of different kinds. But that's cool though. I know. YouTube came with that to try to compete with Tagged and TikTok and all that. I wonder how long they gonna have that on YouTube though, because YouTube be stealing shit from people, but then some things they don't keep. That's just like the story. Y'all remember when YouTube used to have stories where you could put stuff on your story on YouTube, but they took that away. I guess that wasn't really beneficial to YouTube. Then some of y'all probably don't remember. Some of y'all probably do remember, man. But I remember when YouTube used to have a DM. I remember you used to be able to DM each other on YouTube, man. I wish they still had that. I'm kind of mad they took that away. They should have kept that. That was kind of cool when YouTube had the DM. Some of y'all probably didn't even know YouTube used to have a DM. But they definitely did. You dig? Oh, man, y'all coming through with the gifts, man. Checkmate, good looking with the star, you dig? You can cash out with the gifts. Yeah. Right, support for the Prince. I know you remember that shit. You been around. Hell yeah, I remember YouTube DMs. T for Torrance said, what about AIM? Man, I used to have AOL Messenger, man. I used to have AIM, man. I used to fuck with AIM. I used to holler at bitches on AIM and all type of shit, man. That's a throwback for real. Okay. Lavish, man. Good looking with the flow state. E-books, good looking with the chili. Okay, that's a chili. Good looking with the chili. E-books. I think I might have, I don't know. I'm getting them mixed up, man. Good looking with the star. And Lavish, good looking again with the stay hydrated, man. Support the Prince said, laugh out loud. That nigga said AIM. AIM is taking it way back. You be on tagged freeze? Nah, I have a tagged account, but I ain't fucked with it in years. But I got a partner that be on tag though, and he be making some little money on there and shit. Yeah, one of my partners, he be on tag. He be fucking with it. But like I said, I got an account, but man, I ain't fucked with tag in years. Years. I knocked something on tag one time too, a long time ago. This is probably like 2015. I knocked a bitch on tagged. Yep. Oh. So I could tell y'all the story, man. Shit, we done already talked about the Ant Jefe situation, so I could tell y'all this story, right? Because last time I was having technical difficulties and a lot of y'all couldn't hear me tell the story. And I watched it back on the replay because I thought y'all was going to be able to catch it on the replay because some people was able to hear it, some people wasn't. You know what I mean? And I think I've been having the thought to do it. I just ain't got to it yet. But I think I'm gonna do a live dedicated to the most unpimpish moments. You know what I mean? Because everybody try to make it seem like they P stand for perfect, and they just came into the game with the game. But I don't know about everybody else, man. But I know me, I got plenty of unpimpish moments, man. Even years into the game, I got some unpimpish moments, which is one of the moments I'm about to tell you right now, you know? Oh, man. Yeah, man. But, yeah, we're going to get into it. Hold on. Let me shout out a couple more gifts, man. Checkmate. Good looking with the party. You did? Oh, I think that's the last of them. Yeah, but so okay, the story, right? So the story I was telling y'all before, that's the chick that I'm talking about right now that I knocked off a tag, which that's what made me think about the story. So I knocked this chick off a tag, right? This like I said, about 2015, right? And we at the crib, and mind you, this chick was like real docile and real timid. She wasn't very outspoken. She was one of them quiet types, keep her head down. She was one of them type of chicks, right? So one day we at the crib and she in the kitchen. I'm sitting in the living room. She in the kitchen talking on the phone with one of her square friend homegirls or whatever, right? And she talking about her baby daddy. And her baby daddy had left her for some, as she put it, a fat white girl in Vegas, right? And she on the phone telling her friend about this shit like, yeah, he left me for that fat white bitch. Wooty, 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 whoop, right? So I was just joking around. You know, I just threw some shit in, I just threw a log at her in the fire, you know what I mean? I was like, yeah, the fat white bitch probably got some fire-ass head. That's probably why he went over there. I was just joking, right? Man, she turned into a totally different bitch, man. She had showed me a side of her that I had never seen up until that point. I didn't have her that long. I probably only had her like maybe a week or two by this time. So she just flipped. She was like, head. She was like, no, I got that. I got the fire head. Whoop, whoop, whoop. She just kept going on and on about her head, right? And then she was like, and mind you, at the time, she was about 30 years old. So she a little bit far removed from high school, but she was like, yeah, I got dudes from high school still talking about my head. I got that fire head. She can't fuck with me on the head. And she just kept going on and on about her head, right? So I'm sitting in the living room. I'm like, yeah, whatever. You firehead. Yeah, right. I just can't, because like I said, she always quiet and don't say much and, you know, real timid. And so I can't picture this shy looking timid ass bitch with some fire ass head. I mean, she out there selling it for a pimp, but I just can't picture. I'm looking at her and how her demeanor is, and I just can't picture her just with the washing machine head like that. You know what I mean? I just can't see it. I can't see her with the whirlpool head like that. So I'm like, yeah, okay. Then one day, man, I finally got a dose of the head, man, and she made a pimp a believer, you know what I mean? She made a pimp a believer because, see, like I said, this 2015, she about 30 years old, which means she was in high school in the early 2000s. So she had dudes talking about her head a decade later. And here it is another decade later, and I'm still talking about her head. You know what I mean? So, yeah, she made a pimp a believer, man. So, one day, her and my other peoples was out trapping, right? They was out, you know, doing their thing together, and they had an in call together, right? And she came to me, and she was like, Daddy, I got to tell you, I got to talk to you about something. So I'm like, what's going on? She's like, you know, I just got so much respect for you, and, you know, I just can't lie to you. I don't, you know, because I respect you so much, you know, I can't keep nothing from you, and I can't lie to you, so I got to tell you something. I'm like, what's up? She like, yeah, you know, me and my wifey, we was at the in call by ourselves, and, you know, we was messing around, and one thing led to another, and we had sex with each other. So I'm like, is that right? Okay. Now, she's new to the household, right? So she really don't understand my stance on this, right? But the one that she had the encounter with, she had been with me for some time, so she know my program and she knows that, Freeze ain't with none of that, right? So she wasn't there when the one with the fire head told me this, right? So when she came back around us, I had went off on her and shit. I flashed on her, like, bitch, doing all this punk ass shit, woo, right? So then when I flashed on her, I made her walk back to the end call, which is probably about 3 or 4 miles, something like that. So I made her walk back to the end call. And the one with the fire head, she stayed back at the crib with me, right? And I was mad. I flashed on her too. I flashed on both of them. You know what I mean? I talked shit to both of their ass, right? So they both knew I was mad, right? So I'm in the room in the bed, laying in the bed watching TV, right? And she come in the room and she like, daddy. She trying to say something to me, but I'm ignoring her, right? So man, the bitch got down there, man, and started going to work, man. And I'm just sitting there trying to look mad and trying to look like I ain't enjoying myself, man. I'm just sitting there like, I'm trying to look stone-faced and unfazed in the motherfucker. But this bitch going to work, she putting the whirlpool on the pimp like a motherfucker, right? So I'm just sitting there with a straight face like, and then the bitch, she gonna stop and she looked up at me and she was like, you still mad at me? Woo, shit. That bitch hurt this punk. This is going to show you, man, bitches ain't shit. Bitches is evil, man. They some evil motherfuckers, man. That's why you got to you got to stay on top of your shit, man. So the bitch, she looked up at me. She stopped. She going to work. Then she stopped and she looked up at me. She's like, you still mad at me? I just did this. I couldn't do nothing else, man. I didn't even say nothing. I just turned to the side, man, and act like the bitch didn't even say nothing to me, man. And then she just kept going to work on the pimp, man. This punk ass bitch, man. But yeah, that was one of my unpimpish moments, man, where I let her get the best of me with that head, man. Her head was like kryptonite to a pimp, man. But after that, I had to tighten up, man. I just couldn't be alone with her no more, man. After that, unless she was doing good and she deserved to be able to do that to a pimp. But I can't lie. I was, that was one of my kryptonites, man. I had a weakness for that shit, man. I couldn't be alone with that bitch. See, you got to learn your pimping, man. When you doing some pimping, man, and you got certain hoes that you got a certain type of liking for, man, you gotta pimp accordingly, man. And how I pimped accordingly with her, man, I stopped being alone with that bitch, man. I couldn't be alone with her, man, because she was gonna attack a pimp, man, and I couldn't fight her off, man. Even if I tried, which I never really tried, but yeah, I would only be alone with her if, that was something that I didn't mind her doing, you know what I mean, or wanted her to do. But yeah, man, that bitch there, boy. Yeah, she had that whirlpool, man. She had that washing machine for sure. She had that spin cycle for sure. You dig? Oh man, so now y'all got the story for real, man. Yeah, but that shit was just so funny, man, because see, that's why you can't, that's one thing I learned from that hoe too, is that you can't let the appearance be the interference. You can't. Because if you was to just right now, any of y'all guys, if you would have just seen this chick, she was a pretty girl. She was real pretty. She was like a little Portuguese chick, pretty as hell. But her demeanor, if you would have met her like if you would meet her and it's like to see her and shit, like you wouldn't think that of her. You wouldn't think like, man, this bitch is a cold freak, or man, she got some fire. You wouldn't even think that. Her demeanor don't give that. It doesn't speak that. You know what I mean? So this is a chick that you probably would just see and just keep on going. You know what I mean? You would never know. You would never know, man, just by looking at her and talking to her and just seeing how she carry herself. You would never know this shit, man. That's why, like I said, I learned from her. Never, ever, 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 ever let the appearance be the interference. Because on the other hand, sometimes you might meet like a chick that's like real sexual and acts super freaky and all this shit, and head just like, man, head got you like this on the TV, like, head just weak as hell. You know what I mean? Some chicks be like that, man, but that's why you can't let the appearance be the interference, man. You know, some chicks look like they got the fire head just by the way they talk, and especially the ones that brag. Sometimes they should just be trash, man. Bitch be bragging like her. See, she bragged because I challenged her. I was like, yeah, the fat white bitch probably got that fire head. She was like, oh no. That was one thing she knew that was like the shit about her. You know what I mean? She probably was like insecure in other areas and shit like that. But when it came to the head, she knew she was the heavyweight intercontinental champion of the world. You know what I mean? She was like Marty Jannetty and Shawn Michaels. You know what I mean? She knew she had the heavyweight title belt for the head. You know what I mean? So yeah, man, funny as hell. But yeah, I think I'm gonna do that, man. I'm gonna give y'all a video just dedicated to like some of my most unpimpish moments, man. I gotta sit down and reflect because you know, some of these moments is like a long time ago, man. So I just gotta really sit back and put myself in remembrance, man. Put myself back in them days, man, and just think about how shit was, man. So I can remember some good unpimpish moments for y'all. Yeah, but I'm gonna definitely do that. I gotta sit down and really remember some times, and I'll repeat that story in that live because it'll be dedicated to those types of moments. So of course I'm gonna have to tell that story again. But yeah, I got some other stories too, for sure. That'll be good. Yeah, that bitch was like the Hulkster back in the day, man, with the head, man. She was the champ. That's really that's what I need to start calling that bitch now. She got a, that obviously ain't her name, but that's gonna be her name from now on, the champ. The champ is here. The champ is here. That's how that bitch walk in the room. That bitch walk in the room like, the champ is here. She knows she the champ when it comes to that head, boy. Oh, shit. Suppose the Prince say, Freeze, we got to do that video together. Hey, man, for sure. Matter of fact, see, I think this is what I'll do. I'll do one by myself, and then I'll do one where I allow, people to join and get their most unpimpish moments, and I'll allow you could start it off. You know what I mean? Yeah, for sure. We could do that for sure, though. We'll have like a part 1 and part 2. Part 1 will just be me by myself, and then part 2 will be, others could call in and join in and get a testimony. Laugh and say, what's her gram, Freeze? You know what? I don't even, at least back when I had her, I don't think she had Instagram, but she had a Facebook, though. I don't even know if she still friends with me on Facebook. I don't know. I ain't seen her in a long time. I know after she left me, she ended up getting back with her baby daddy. They had another kid. So last I knew, she had 2 kids with him. She might even got more kids with him now because this was so long ago. They was back together. I don't know if they still together. I don't know if they got more kids or she got more kids. I don't know. But last I knew, she had got back with her baby daddy and they had another kid together. T for Torn said, shut up and give me the champ's number. Oh, man, y'all trying to get a bar to the champ. I ain't mad at you, man, because she the champ for real. I am not mad at you. Oh, man. Yeah. Yeah, the champ, she a bad motherfucker. I can't lie. I cannot lie. She, yeah, she definitely, I don't know, man, because I done had some fire head in my life, man. She top 10 for sure. Can I say she top? She might be top 5. I probably, yeah, I could put her top 5. Let me think about it. Hold on. Because that one is top 5. Yeah, she's top 5. That's 2. Yeah, the champ, I probably had to put her in the top 5 for sure. I really had to sit back and think of who the top 5 is, but she, yeah, I could safely put her in the top 5 for sure. Lojo's stupid. Lojo, good looking with the $2 holler. As long as I got my visa. Yeah, that's how some dudes be feeling, man. As long as they got their visa, they cool. Look at you reminiscing. Stop, G. All right, man. We ain't gonna talk about the champ no more, man. On to the next, man. We ain't talking about the champ no more, man. On to the next, man. 90s Baby to University says, you got to review that video of you and Sin playing good cop, bad cop on dude. Sin was flat out telling him to quit pimping. You was giving him options and other shit to do. Laughed my ass off. Yeah, I think I know what video you talk about, man. I gotta go back and find that shit. Unless you know the title of it, I could go check it out. But yeah. Yeah, that was a funny ass video. Them foreign hoes be having the best top, laugh out loud. Yeah. Y'all stupid, man. Hey, we not talking about the champ no more, man. Y'all gonna keep on bringing up the champ, huh? Nah, we ain't talking about the champ no more, man. Let's move on, man, to the next subject, man. I think I might have missed that one, but E-Books, good looking with the star, man. Let's see. Oh, we already been live 2 hours and some change, man. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and wrap this joint on up, man. Pimp got things to do. And if you have not wiped your feet off at the door when you stepped into a pimp's domain, please do so before we get up out of here, man. That like button. But yeah, man, you know, to sum things up, man, I hope people are paying attention to the young Ant Jefe situation and learning from it, especially those who come from LA. Because if you a young dude, not even necessarily a young dude, if you a street dude from LA, you can end up on no jumper at any time. Because it's a lot of dudes, it's several dudes that I know that have been on no jumper that just never, you know, they just been up there a time or two and then they never became a regular on there. But, you know, a lot of dudes end up there. A lot of LA dude, if you're a LA street dude, it's very easy to end up at No Jumper. But just pay attention, man, to what goes on there, and just understand what it is before you get yourself into it, man. That's all I say. Because back to Ant Jefe, man, he really is a gangster at a snitch party. And everybody is helping the police do their job just for the sake of content regarding his situation, man. And it's quite disgusting to see. And I don't want to see it happen to nobody else, man. So hopefully they learning from this situation, man. And again, may the Most High have mercy on Ant Jefe regarding this situation. Blessings to his family, loved ones, and all that. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and get up out of here, man. As always, I appreciate y'all for tuning in and tapping in with a pimp. I appreciate you for sharing this video. I appreciate you for subscribing. I appreciate you for hitting the bell when you subscribe. I appreciate all the super chats, the cash apps, the PayPals. I appreciate your support in every which way that it comes with it, man. Y'all already know who it is and what it is. Freeze is it. If you out in traffic moving around, please do so in a safe fashion. And of course, as always, long live the incomparable, Sinful to P. We out.